Hi, and welcome to Bonita's Kitchen, and thank you for joining us. Today I'm excited to bring to you a traditional recipe for us here in Newfoundland and Labrador, and it's called Sweet Mustard Pickles. Now these sweet mustard pickles, I'm sure over the years have been on the table, breakfast, dinner and supper. This is something that we put on our bread, we'd have with our jigs dinner, we'd have with our fried eggs. So if this recipe interests you and you like to know how to make it, stick around and let's get started. Bonita's Kitchen to yours. Bonita's Kitchen to yours. So right here in this little section is what we're going to use to make these delicious sweet mustard pickles. Of course, we got ourselves a nice cauliflower, and I got one English cucumber. You could use anywhere from 1 to 2 English cucumbers. Now here I got bottled pearl onions. Really, I would like to have fresh pearl onions, but right now we can't get in any here in the market, so I'm going to be using 2 375ml bottles. We'll drain these off and just use the onions, not the pickling inside. We're going to be using about a tablespoonful of this pickling spice. I'll share with you what it is, and each ingredient we're going to put in to make the sauce, I'll tell you as we use it. So right now what I'm going to do is cut up these vegetables and get these soaking in some sea salt or pickling salt. Now what I usually do is put a nice heaping teaspoonful or tablespoonful of the pickling spice, and I put into some cheesecloth. I don't have any cheesecloth right now, so as you can see,
I was going to say,
yeah, this is not cheesecloth. No, it's not, Raymond. You're right smart over there today. I know you are. This is my tea steeper. As you can see, you could use this as well. It is ideal for this recipe because we just need to infuse all of these spices into the vegetables. We don't need to cook it in there. I'm going to put in 3 or 4 leaves of the bay leaves, and this I'll put in after. We're going to be cutting up the English cucumber into probably 1/2 inch slices like this, and you can cut it in half too if you didn't want them full, but because this is a smaller they're smaller than the regular cucumber, you could leave them whole. I'm going to cut them in half because I just like that portion of it in this recipe. So we'll cut that, and I'll continue. I'm going to leave the skin on, and like I said, I would love if I would add pearl onions. I don't have them, so the fresh ones, I would just peel them and cook them with this. I'm going to drain this off and put it into my boiler. So if you're using the bottled pearl onions like I'm using there, make sure you drain that liquid off, because that's a pickling as well, and rinse it really well with cold water, and then toss it into your boiler to get ready. Now these work perfect as well. You can do all sorts of tricks when it comes to pickling and making homemade pickles, but again, having the fresh ones would be a little bit more preferred because you're getting all of that flavor as they're boiling together with the cauliflower and of course these delicious cucumbers. So all I'm doing there now is just cutting these in half, putting them in there. I already rinsed over the vegetables beforehand, so I don't have to do it during. And what we're going to do, once I put all that in there, and I'll show you the size of the cauliflower that I'm going to be cutting up, we're going to be putting about 6 to 8 cups of water, cold water, over the top of that, and about a tablespoonful of sea salt or pickling salt. So now I'm going to cut off some of the dark spots of this cauliflower because unfortunately, unless it's in the season of when things is growing, we don't always get the perfect vegetables, you know. Time they come here to Newfoundland, they're partly weathered, and unfortunately that's a little bit of something that we got to deal with as a people. So, but right now I'm just going to cut off some of that and just have it bite-sized pieces like this. I don't want it too small because if it's too small it'll just dissolve into those pickles and you're not going to see it, and we want to see it. That's always been our favorite. We'll always look for nice
to see what you're putting on your bread or whatever.
Well, in our case, we'll always look for a piece of cauliflower, because years ago when you buy the pickles, and well, my mom didn't buy many of them, she made them, but when we did, you'll be looking for an onion or a cauliflower, and it'll be like skimmed. There'll be more of the cucumber in there than the actual onion and that cauliflower, but we love it, so I put extra amount in there. So just give it a nice cut like this and toss it into your boiler. Now also, when you're cutting up your cauliflower, if the green on it is still nice, you can cut that as well and put a little bit of that in there, because that's tasty as well, and it'll just give it that little bit of color and texture in your pickles, your sweet mustard pickles. Raymond, I'm sure you can tell a story or two about you and how you use the sweet mustard pickles on a pretty much a daily basis, I'm sure. Right?
As you would say, and my sons and everyone else, I'm always into making these fancy little sandwiches and stuff like that. And there's nothing like a topping of sweet mustard pickles
over the top of it.
Good slice of homemade bread, ham or whatever you got. And,
now, as Raymond would say, what are you doing there now? I am putting some cold water over this, and of course we got to have it where it is at least submerged into the water. Of course, I'm going to have to put more, and I always use this boiler where I should be using a bigger one, but I'm going to get some more water. I got the pickling spice off to the side, just letting it hang out on the side there, and as well I'm using sea salt, and we're going to top it with a teaspoonful of sea salt. Now let's talk about what we're going to do next. Thank you, Raymond, for sharing that.
You're
with us.
welcome. No, nothing like a good sandwich with a sweet mustard pickles on top.
So now, like I was saying, you submerge all the vegetables into water. So anywhere from 6 to 8 cups of cold water, or you could use as much as you like, because you might want to make a double batch of these sweet mustard pickles, and then in that case you're just going to double and triple everything. This is an easy recipe to make, and I've got a few steps. We won't go into detail with that, but right now we're going to soak this for about 1 hour in this brine, which is the salt. After, we're going to drain that salt off. Now, the pickling spice right now is really doing nothing because it's not cooking, but I got it in there just to get them wet. Soak them into that water. Then after, we're going to put them back into this boiler with some fresh water, hot water, and to boil it. But for now, this is going to be 1 hour soaking. But while we're waiting for that, we're going to make our delicious sweet mustard that's going to go over these pickles when they're cooked. So let's get to that. So now over into this little saucepan, we're going to be putting in 3 cups of pickling vinegar, white vinegar. we use here for our pickling. Now everybody's got different kind, of course. We're going to have 3/4 cup of granulated white sugar. You can use a sugar of choice if you wish, if you don't wish to use the white sugar. 1.5 cups of water, and it don't have to be hot, just water in general. And then we're going to be tossing in there 2 tablespoonfuls of mustard seeds. I'll get it, Raymond. I'll remember what that is now in a second. And 1/2 teaspoonful of pepper. I'm using black pepper, but you can use white pepper. We're going to be using 1/2 teaspoonful of sea salt. You as well could use pickling salt. 2 heaping tablespoonfuls of turmeric. I'm going to toss that in there. This is going to have such a bright color, as you can see with the pickles here off to the side. You're not going to be disappointed. And 2 teaspoonfuls or 2 tablespoonfuls of yellow mustard.
Like you said, they shouldn't be not satisfied, Bonita, because when it comes to the taster, I'm number 1.
You
tasting.
Absolutely, Raymond. We're going to give you 2 thumbs up for being the taster, for sure. Put this saucepan on a medium heat and let it start to cook these ingredients there until you see it starting to boil. And then I'll show you what to do next. Now, as these ingredients start to cook, you can see they're starting there now. Everything is going in together. Over here to the side, we're going to have anywhere from 4 to 6 tablespoonfuls of flour. If you don't want to use flour, certainly you could use I'm going to say cornstarch, but sometimes cornstarch is not good when you bottle it, but you can use a different type of flour, I'm going to say. And there might be a cornstarch out there that you could use that would work well for this, but I'm going to say flour right now. You mix this with 1/2 cup of cold water and keep mixing it until you see all of those flour lumps gone out. This would be a job for Raymond. I would put it in a shaker and he'd shake, 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 shake until all the lumps is gone out. Shake, yeah. But, and if you like a lot of liquid in your pickles, say more juice and then the normal bottle of pickles, I would say, you can double up this recipe here for the mustard sauce, because you can't go wrong with it. You could use it on a whole lot of stuff. I know Raymond, again, using it on his bread.
My famous sandwiches.
Yeah. And that's all you need to do there. I'm just waiting for this to get a little more bubbling there so we can mix it in there to thicken this sauce. And that's all. So when you see all of those ingredients starting to heat up, you're going to gradually pour in all of this flour mixture and stir it in, and then let it start to thicken your sauce. That's all you need to do there. So after all the flour is into that liquid, stir it, you'll see it starting to thicken. Then you can turn it down on low. Now we're going to get back to those vegetables, because we need to drain that brine off there now, that salted water. And we're going to add some fresh water to it and start it boiling. So I just drained off the water that was on this, and that was the cold brine water with the salt in it. And now I put in there about 5 cups of hot water. It don't have to submerge all the ways over, just needs to just be enough to start boiling those vegetables, and they're going to reduce because as they start to cook. We're only cooking them until they're a medium tenderness. We don't need them boiled as in falling apart, because we need these to be nice chunky pickles. As you can see in there, you can see each one of them, and they're going to be oh so tasty. So on a medium heat, and then I'll show you what that looks like when we're at that stage. So while we're waiting for our vegetables to cook, start getting your bottles and lids sterilized. So pretty much I'll share a video tutorial about that. You just, I only, and everybody does it different, put about a quarter to half of water into my boiler. I put the bottles down into, put the lid on nice and snug, and the steam and the water will sterilize your bottles, and that could be anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. You can also have them submerged into the water. My Aunt Clara have sterilized them in the oven with the oven on 200 and put in there for an hour. So there's all different ways you can sterilize your bottles, but get them ready to bottle these sweet mustard pickles. So I'm going to get doing that when those vegetables are tender. I'm going to show you, and we get all of this mixed together. Yum. So hopefully, Raymond, I won't get the steam on you.
No, it's looking pretty good back
Yes, it is good. And so this is what your vegetables is going to look like. Not overcooked, just a medium cook on them. I'm going to say about an hour, but depending on your stove and how quick it's going to boil. You don't want to boil it boiling just till it all steams in there nice. I'm going to drain this water off, and then we're going to add this sauce to it, and we'll get bottling these. Yum. Look how lovely it looks. So before I drain the water off, take out the spices, and of course for me it's the tea steeper, and take out the bay leaves because you don't need that in there now, and if you can't do it before, take it out before you put the sauce in. So I'm just going to drain this water off, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now the handles on my boiler is heat proof, so you know you can hold it, but be careful when you do that, transferring the water out of the dipper or your boiler, because you don't want to scald yourself. So pour in all of that sauce, that mustard sauce, over the vegetables. That's nice and tender. And just look how nice it's just submerged in there. Mix it in nicely, and even during the cooking stage of these vegetables, stir it occasionally to move it around so it don't burn at the bottom of the boiler. I mean, it haven't ever with me, but I don't know, like you said, if it would or not, and that way you don't want that to stick, so it'll keep it all having even heat. I'm going to let this cook here now for about 5 to 10 minutes just to get this sweet mustard sauce in with all of those delicious vegetables. And I'm going
to put that nice flavor to it.
I know, right? That'll kick it up a notch,
kick
right?
It up a notch, yeah.
I'm going to put the lid back on, put your timer on, either 5 or 10 minutes, whatever's good for you. And that's all we'll do there. So of course, our sweet mustard pickles are now cooked. We're going to get them in them hot bottles. Of course, all of our bottles here is nice and hot. They're done, sterilized. Again, I'm not going to show you the sealing of them today. You can just refer to our tutorial on bottling your whatever you're cooking, but in our case today is the sweet mustard pickles. So come in closer. I'm going to scoop some up into the bottle. We're going to show you the ones we got here already done, what they look like when they're sat in that delicious pickle, and it's so good.
And I'm going to show you how to sample them.
Oh, you'll sample them. Yes, you've sampled them lots. Just look at this. Those vegetables are just nice and tender, not overcooked, because again, they're in this hot pickle, and it's going to continue cooking even in your bottle after you seal them, because it stays hot for quite some time. So try to get an equal amount of everything, equal amount of your cauliflower, your pickles, your onions. Of course, it's going to have packed in with all of it, and go about a half an inch to an inch from the top of your jar, leaving that little bit of air space there, and so it's not touching the lid. And I will even a little bit higher than that. I'm just going to put one more little sample in there.
Oh yeah.
And that should be enough. So yeah, so continue doing that, and then all you need to do after you've put that in there, wipe around the rim like this to keep it, any of those juices that went on there. Put your lid with the band and the stopper on, and all you need to do is finger tight like this, and then put it into your water bath again to seal it. That I'm not going to show you here today because again, we just want to show you how to make these delicious sweet mustard pickles, and the sealing of it is not a lot of work. And we'll share a tutorial with you. So I'm going to continue putting this delicious vegetables into my bottles, and then I'm going to show you the ones I got done over there to the side. Yeah, and then that one, almost my last one. I still got one more left there to do, but as you can see is about 1 inch to 1/2 inch from the top. Then take your lid, your cover with the band, and then the lid, and finger tight. Now I got 6 there, and it makes anywhere from 6 to 7 bottles of these delicious sweet mustard pickles. You'll never buy it again after you've made these. Now over here to the side, as you can see, this is what they're going to look like when they're completely set. They're sealed, and about this here is about a month old for these here. And of course, again, we've served them with breakfast, dinner and supper, and in Raymond's case, Eve had them on his toast and everything. But you know what, just put it out on the table and you let your guests serve them whatever way they want them. I'm going to pass this one to Raymond.
It's a good little snacky food, isn't it?
I'm going to have a little taste there. Oh my gosh.
Gotcha, bud.
Yum. I can't wait for you to make them. So delicious. So pretty much now all is left to do is to take these bottles and put them back into the water bath and seal them off. And that's about 10 minutes or so in the hot steam or hot water. And again, I won't be showing that here today, but we got a video that we can share with you on that. Now these pickles, like you said, we've been eating them for all of our life. We don't know anything else. We were brought up with it in Newfoundland and Labrador, served on our kitchen table with every meal. So pretty much is whatever you want to put these sweet mustard pickles on, if it's a slice of bread or a big jigs dinner. Again, I'm gonna have a
I didn't mean to interrupt, but like, and sweet mustard pickles, back in the day, well, it was a big thing. Like any time at all, Sundays, whenever, sweet mustard pickles. But now it's so hard to come up with a good old sweet mustard pickle.
I don't think
you can make them yourself.
You can make them yourself, and here in Newfoundland and Labrador, certainly you can buy them still in the stores, but they're all made. They're locally made. But for us, my mom, and of course our Aunt Clara, and our Raymond's mom, and most of Newfoundlanders have made them themselves. There's tons of different types. This one I'm going to give 2 thumbs up for. It's our recipe that we've been making in our family for years, so I can't wait for you to make them, the sweet mustard pickles. If you can't find the pearl onions, use regular onions, use shallots, chop up a big onion into small pieces. It doesn't matter. If you want more cucumber, put more cucumber. You decide what you want. But the mustard sauce, don't change it. It is too good to eat. Also, I sterilized the bottles that those little onions came in for just quick use. You know, put it in, and I only had a little bit to go into this one. You can seal them. They don't recommend for you to seal a bottle that you opened, but if you ran out of bottles and you got to fall onto that, that's there to do. So this is it. Too good to eat, and 2 thumbs up. After you've sealed them, date and put the date on there. Of course, you know what they are, sweet mustard pickles, and you can put them in your pantry, keep them in your fridge, whatever you want. Gift them, because that's what we do. I'm going to leave the recipe in under this video link. I'm also going to share it with us on our website, www.bonitaskitchen.com. You can send me a message on our email, bonitakitchen@gmail.com, or visit us on our Facebook page. Either way, we'll get this recipe to you. Yeah, I just had to have that other taste. I can just sit with crackers and have these. Just a reminder as well, if you like this video, you can share it with your Facebook page so your family and friends could enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed already, we urge you to do so. We got over 400 plus videos up there to date. We post every Sunday. And for those of you that have been with us for almost 10 years, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sticking with us. And I'm so glad you're enjoying our videos. We're going to give you guys two thumbs up.
And keep us going. Probably we get another 10 years of good recipes. And
if we can keep those recipes coming to you, we'll stay with you as long as we can. So I'm going to get going so as I can pop these into the water bath to get them sealed. On behalf of myself, Raymond, and our team, and from our kitchen to yours, thank each and every one of you for joining us today.
And you have a wonderful day. Toodaloo.
Join us by the sea, a journey in culinary, always an open door. Bonita's kitchen to yours. Bonita's kitchen, kitchen.
If you're here in Newfoundland and Labrador, don't forget to visit beautiful Bay Roberts and join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.